Algaith Group is communicating this incident in order for all employees to be aware of the incident details, root cause and corrective actions in order to learn and prevent or reduce likelihood of recurrence. Lessons learned. Casing dropped from rig floor to ground level. Description: while running in hole 9 and 5 EIPS casing using casing running tool, CRT, and automatic catwalk, the crew latched joint number 10 into single joint elevator and moved TDS upward and floated the link before the casing joint reached out of catwalk. This has caused the casing joint to move towards TDS torque tube and the casing collar stuck into the torque tube connections gap. Subsequently, 2 shackles parted, and another 2 shackle deformed due to overpull, resulting in drop of casing on the ground level and landed on automatic catwalk outrigger, causing minor bend on outrigger. No injuries were reported due to this incident. Immediate causes: lack of knowledge of hazard present. The casing collar stuck in between TDS torque tubes connections. Risk was not identified by rig floor crews during PJSM and TBT. Also, this hazard is not listed in JSAs. Lack of judgment. While picking the 10th casing joint, the float button was pressed before casing came out of mechanical catwalk, which caused less clearance between torque tube and casing collar, and eventually the collar edge gets stuck in torque tube connection gap. Inadequate equipment. The single joint elevator was installed on links by 2 pairs of bow shackles. The pair shackles were connected body to pin proportion instead of connecting body to body. In addition, the shackles angles were 45 degrees, which created additional force on shackles. Root causes: inadequate identification of job hazard / poor judgment. While real 10th joint, the float button was pressed before casing came out of mechanical catwalk, which caused less clearance between torque tube and casing collar, and eventually the collar edge stuck in torque tube connection gap. Inadequate work planning / risk assessment performed. The risk assessment did not include hazards from floating links before casing comes out automatic catwalk, which could lead casing to move towards TDS monorails, torque tubes. Inadequate assessment of needs and risks. Due to incompatible size of single joint elevator body, additional shackles were needed to fill the gap between links and elevator. The smaller shackles were kept inclined 45 degrees in the assembly, which reduced the SWL by approximately 30%. Based on the failure pattern, the shackles were side-loaded, and threads failed. Inadequate development of procedure. Procedure for operating CRTs were not developed / available, and the service provider's SOPs were not reviewed for its appropriateness. Inadequate training efforts. Crew engaged in the activity were not trained on using different types of CRTs used at onshore rigs. Lesson learned: A. Develop and implement unified standard operating procedure and task-specific JSA for run-in-hole casing using CRT. B. Review all the incidents related to use of CRTs and evaluate the requirements of appropriate and compatible tools and accessories to run CRT, such as links, elevators, slips, etc. C. The activity of real 10 joints of casing to be carried under appropriate level of supervision, including presence of RM/DS and CRT supervisor on the rig floor. D. Ensure all the employees engaged in handling and operation of CRTs are trained.